kids, it's Thor Diecow. Welcome back to another edition of This Week on Blu-ray and DVD. We've got another jam-packed one for you, and we begin with one of the most acclaimed films of 2013, Lee Daniels' The Butler. And this stars Forrest Whitaker as the man who served 7 different presidents during the most tumultuous time in American history. Get a look at The Butler.
Tolerance for politics at the White House.
I'm Cecil Gaines. I'm the new butler.
You hear nothing, you see nothing. You only serve.
You know he got that job himself. The White House called him. He didn't call the White House.
I want to hear all the stories.
I don't know how many stories you're going to hear because they done swore him to some kind of secret code.
Yeah, the acting in this movie is staggering, anchored wonderfully by Forrest Whitaker and Oprah Winfrey. Amazing in her performance. It's got a star-studded cast, including Cuba Gooding Jr., John Cusack, Terrence Howard, Jane Fonda, Lenny Kravitz, James Marsden, Alan Rickman, Liev Schreiber, and Robin Williams. It's one of the most powerful dramas of the year. It had a little bit of inconsistency when it came to the tone and the writing sometimes, but the performances anchor the film. It looks at a very complicated issue of race in an unfolding time in American history during civil rights. I said earlier it was the most tumultuous time. That was probably the Civil War era, but this was definitely one of the most tumultuous times because you dealt with all these clashes and the idea of race relations and equality front and center. So check out The Butler, one of the most powerful of the year. Next, we're talking about Parkland, and this is another drama about the 60s, and this is all about the assassination of John F. Kennedy Jr. on November 22nd, 1963, a day that changed the world. And this is a real-time look at the handful of individuals who all had to make split-second decisions that had to do with what happened in the aftermath of Kennedy's assassination. Check it out.
President Kennedy is being rushed to Parkland Hospital.
Got something. It's the president. He's coming in.
He's probably got the flu.
We do not know officially.
His head just flew to pieces.
Yeah, and you got a lot of stars in this one as well. Zac Efron, Paul Giamatti plays Zapruder, and it looks at the young doctors and nurses at Parkland Hospital who tried to revive the president, the chief of the Dallas Secret Service, the cameraman Zapruder, who unwittingly captured the most famous footage of the event, and the FBI agents who had gunman Lee Harvey Oswald in their grasp, but kind of let him go there. And the story follows what happened with that and a lot of the sort of bungling that went on with it, and it was sort of a scenario of unprecedented drama for everyone involved. This is an interesting film. It's very top-heavy in the sense that it all kind of happens at the beginning in this great frantic, sort of collection of scenes when the president was actually killed. And then it kind of slows down afterwards, midway through, as they're sort of trying to track down who did it, and it gets into more of the sort of context of the story. But it's an interesting premise, and it's a refreshing look at a story that has been told countless times before, and it's got some great performances in it as well, particularly from Billy Bob Thornton and Paul Giamatti. So if you like the historical drama, check out Parkland. That one might be for you. Switching gears now, we're going to talk about a psychological thriller mixed with a little bit of horror, Youre Next. And this is all about a family that get together for a reunion, and it's actually a couple celebrating their wedding anniversary, and they invite their 4 kids and their significant others to a family reunion at their slightly run-down weekend estate, and that is a perfect setup for this kind of movie. Things go awry when they start getting terrorized by a bunch of mask-wearing people that are carrying crossbows. So these assailants are attacking the family. They have no idea why, or if the attackers are inside or outside the creaking house. All they know is that nobody is safe. Oh yeah, this is very freaky stuff. There's a couple of twists and turns in this movie that really caught me by surprise, and it's a very effective little thriller, almost satirical in some parts, because it's kind of funny in a strange, twisted way. So check out Youre Next if those movies tickle your fancy. Next, we're talking about another acclaimed drama, Fruitvale Station, and this stars an amazing performance by Michael B. Jordan, and this is Ryan Coogler's first directorial debut, centered on the tragic shooting of Oscar Grant, a vibrant Bay Area resident who was senselessly gunned down by Bay Area Rapid Transit officers New Year's Day 2009. Check this out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shots fired at Fruitvale.
We're trying to get home. What is going on?
Yeah, this is a story that is loosely based on real events, sent shockwaves through the nation because it was captured on camera by fellow passengers. And Octavia Spencer and Kevin Durant also star in this film, but Michael B. Jordan getting a ton of acclaim for this role, and decidedly so, because he is a great up-and-coming young actor, very promising career ahead of him. And this movie hits a lot of poignant notes, and it does it very well. It doesn't sort of, make gratuitous use of the subject matter or the themes, but I thought it was very effective, very powerful drama. So Fruitvale Station, that was also one of the best sort of indie flicks of 2013. Now, in the remake category, yes, they had to touch it. Stephen King's Carrie, in one of the most pointless remakes in recent memory, unfortunately, starring the very talented Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore. It's the terrifying horror thriller of a young girl who is an outcast by her peers and sheltered by her deeply religious mom, but she unleashes telekinetic hell on her small town when she's pushed too far at the senior prom. They try to update the story using sort of the internet and social media as a takeoff point to establish why this young girl is so bullied. Does that in an interesting way. I just felt that they didn't need to retell the story again. It doesn't really fit so much. And the Sissy Spacek, Brian De Palma film, it's so strong on its own. I just don't like that they had to go and, sort of change this one around and reboot it for a modern age. That being said, though, there's over an hour of exclusive features for the Blu-ray. Commentaries from the director and the cast, featurettes. There's an extended scene. There's an alternate ending that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And they also have that telekinetic coffee shop surprise viral video that you may have seen earlier in the year. If not, you can check that out on the menu. The special effects are actually pretty convincing in this film, but again, it did not need to be made. Now, we saved the best for last. A classic comes to Blu-ray in the heat of the night. Oh my goodness, winner of 5 Academy Awards in 1967, including Best Picture. The engrossing tale of Virgil Tibbs, a detective from Philadelphia who gets embroiled in this murder investigation of a prominent businessman. He goes from being accused of the crime to having to solve it in spite of the efforts of the bigoted town sheriff, played by Rod Steiger. And, this is just so many great performances in this one. You got commentary from Norman Jewison and a bunch of the other cast. Turning up the heat, movie making in the 60s, The Slap Heard Around the World, that's from that famous scene. And Quincy Jones breaking new sound, that's one of the special features. Such an incredible role for Sidney Poitier, and they call me Mr. Tibbs, one of the most quoted lines in movie history. Rod Steiger, so good. They had such good duality in this film and played off each other so well, and it was released at a time when racial tensions were still very high in the United States. There you go. In the heat of the night, in high def on Blu-ray for the first time ever. Winner of Best Picture, 1967. There you go, folks. I'm Thor Dykow. Check me out on Twitter. I'm here each and every week bringing you all the brand new Blu-ray and DVD titles. Let me know what you thought. See you next time on breakfasttelevision.ca.